What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a very exciting news slash update regarding the LLY. And before we get started, I've had a lot of people ask me where you can get this NSB fam hoodie, and if you wear this in public, a lot of people will look at you for many reasons. Anyway, to get this, go to neversatisfiedbuilds.com and you can order your hoodie there. And to be honest, I need at least one person to go order it now, because the way we set it up, I'm not sure if it works. So one person go order it and then leave a comment below and let me know if it works or not, if it went through or not, because I don't know if we set it up properly, but it's up there. And the big news for the LOI is boom. So it looks like we got two packages here. That is for the Denali, so make sure to stay tuned. That's going to be for a separate video. This is for today's video. This is for the LOI. Now, without further ado, we'll go ahead and start unboxing it. And I want to give a huge shout out to Ryan from Ryan's Diesel Services for this turbo. He has been a great partner slash, a company to work with, not only for me, but with my friends as well, such as Truckmaster and Bertrand 850. We all have Ryan's Diesel Services turbo. Dalton and Truckmaster both have the 68mm turbo. I thought about going with 68, but with some help from Truckmaster, I've decided to go with the 64mm turbo. Here we go. Once again, huge shout out to Ryan. He is from North Perry, Wisconsin. Give him a call, give him a shout for any diesel related stuff. I mean, he's really quick at responding. Great customer service. Nicest guy I've never met. Alright, I'm gonna have to put you guys down. I'm excited. I'm freaking stoked. Oh my god, that is sick. Y'all, check out this turbo. Oh wow. Actually, let's leave it in the box for now, but look at that. 64mm 04 to 2010 Duramax. Woo! That is sick. That is gonna sound so good. Now, so you guys are probably gonna be asking, like, why did I go with the 64mm turbo compared to the 68mm turbo that Truckmaster and Dalton has? And that was, honestly, that was a debate for me too. Like, why would I want to go with the 64mm turbo when 63mm turbo is a stock turbo in the LOI? So like so for like 1mm difference, is there even going to be any kind of difference? Is that even really an upgrade? So I got talking to Truckmaster, and I also talked to Dalton as well, and Ryan, obviously. So I've talked to all three of them, and kind of trying to get basically trying to figure out what I needed for my goals. So Ryan basically asked me, like, what are your goals? What are your performance goals? Are you trying to achieve 800 horsepower range, or are you okay with just getting like 650, 600? So for the red LOI, I'm not really trying to go with all full out performance. I don't want to have to rebuild the trans, which I will, but I don't really want to have to rebuild the trans any sooner than I have to. I don't want to have to upgrade the injectors. I don't want to have to upgrade the CP3 pump and all of that stuff. At least not now. Mainly because I just don't have a diesel shop around here that I trust. So with that being said, even if I do all the work myself, the tuning wise, I just don't know who I could trust in terms of working together to get it tuned, dialed up correctly. So I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to go into that performance side just yet. So, and also Josh was telling me that the 68mm turbo does have a lot of lag, so it does require a lot of boost to build up, and there is going to be that boost lag, and I didn't really want that lag, to be honest. According to Ryan, the 64mm turbo and the 68mm turbo will sound identical, and with this I was really trying to go with more of the sound that I like. Of course, this 64mm turbo will allow me to get to the next level of reaching about 600 horsepower. And I've already talked to Screaming Diesel Performance about getting a built transmission, so that is going to be part of this build. We are getting a built transmission on the LOI, and obviously it's got 213,000 miles, so eventually down the line we're gonna have to upgrade the injectors and maybe the CP3 pump as well. So I guess the goal for this truck is about 650 horsepower. This will help me get to about 600 and 650 horsepower range. So this is probably the ideal turbo setup for the truck. Going back to why did I go from 63 millimeter stock turbo to a 64 millimeter turbo? Like, what are some performance gains from it? And this is all courtesy of Truckmaster. I asked him about it. So he said that with the stock LOI turbo, I would be getting up to 500 horsepower. That would be about the maximum that LOI. That's probably the limit for the stock LOI turbo. Now with this, it'll get me to about 650 horsepower. The main difference, the difference where it comes is the 10 blade billet turbine. Man, this turbo is stout. Wow. Okay, yeah, this turbo is stout. And then we can look right here. Ryan's Diesel Services turbo. I don't know if it's focusing, but Ryan's Diesel Services Performance Turbo. Let's see. Whew. I need to start going back to the gym. So with this turbo, compared to the stock one, it will move more air due to the efficiency of the billet compressor wheel, which also now has 10 blade turbine. So it will get that crazy whistle that I want and move more air, which equals to more performance, more power. Jeez, I'm so out of breath just lifting that. But so now that's why I went with this, because Josh was saying if you're not trying to go over 700 horsepower, I'll be okay with the 64 millimeter turbo. So yeah, here she is. I will put Ryan's information below, his Instagram, Facebook, website, all the good stuff. Check him out. Great guy, great turbo. I'm gonna be installing this next week. It's that I work Monday to Friday and I get off at 5:30, and I prefer not to film at night just because, I don't know, for some reason I just don't like making videos at night. I just don't think the quality is up there. So we're gonna have to wait until a good weekend where I can pull the truck in and basically spend a whole day working on it, Now, here's the thing. This is my first time replacing the turbo. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, and actually there's one YouTube video that's really good. And watching that gave me a lot of confidence on, like, I think I could do it. And also Dalton told me that if I had any issues, I could call him. He would walk me through it and all that stuff. So I think I could do it. Only thing is, I was going to remove some of the parts that I thought would get in the way, such as the EGR cooler. But I'm probably just gonna leave those in there because I think I could take the turbo out without having to take the EGR cooler out. Only thing I saw was that you had to remove the glow plug module. You just have to move those out the way, but the EGR can stay. And the reason why I don't want to delete the EGR is there's really no performance gains of removing that EGR. I would just be spending like $500 to $1,000 just in aesthetics to where the EGR cooler is no longer there. And right now I just don't want to be spending that kind of money on aesthetics. And I've been told by a lot of people that, you know, leaving the EGR cooler in there and just putting a blocker plate will get you the performance gains, will not hinder your performance ability on the Lly Duramax. So that's why we're leaving the EGR cooler there. Also, with the EPA cracking down, if something to ever happen, it's just safer to say that I have an EGR cooler in there. Although I don't have one in my newer truck, which requires the DEF and all that crap. And while we're in the topic of the LOI, let's go ahead and talk about what I'm going to be doing suspension wise, like what I'll be doing aesthetically on the outside. So as you guys can see right here, we have the drop star wheels. They're 22 by 14. If you haven't seen it already, I will show you right now. Bam, drop star forged, 22 by 14. I always go with black wheels, but this time I want to do something different. I want it to be red and polished. I don't want to have anything black because I don't want it to kind of dull the truck down, if that makes any sense. And also, I think I'm going to be switching out the headlights to the chrome ones I thought I ordered the chrome ones, but when I opened it, it was the smoked ones, which I think the smoked ones look pretty good. But once I put the wheels and mirrors and stuff like that, I'm gonna wait until I do that first before I switched out the headlights, because the Boost Auto Parts tow mirrors do have smoked strips, so it may kind of match with the smoked headlights. But in terms of suspension, a lot of people have been wondering, like, what kind of suspension setup are you going with the LOI? The OG LOI had a 7 to 9 inch McGaughy's lift set at like 8.5 with 37s, 22x14. It was a massive truck, which I miss it. I want to do another massive LOI, and this is gonna look awesome because it's red and it's just gonna be, you know, turning heads all over town, everywhere it goes, because it's a red truck and it's a big truck. But like I said, I want to do a different route. I don't want to bore you guys with the same build. I already have a big lifted truck right here. So what I want to do with this is, at first I kind of just want it to be like leveled and maybe 22 by 12 or something like that. But once you go 14 wides, I mean, I just love the stance, so I couldn't see myself going to 12 wides, because I went with 12 wide Anthems and it kept me satisfied for like 2 months, but I just wanted to go wider. And once I went wider, I was super happy with the stance. So I knew if I got 12 wides on the LOI, I wasn't going to be happy. So I went and got the 22 by 14 drop star forged. With 22 by 14, I don't like the stretched out look at all. I don't like the stretched tires at all. So with the tires I'll be getting, it'll be the amp tires, 33 by 1450 22s. That is probably the ideal tire setup that I want to go with, because I don't want to do 20. I don't want to do 33 by 1250 because that's going to stretch out the tires, and I don't typically like that stretched out look. So the tires, I'll be getting 33 by 1450. Now that I got the tires and wheels all lined up, the biggest question is the suspension setup, because I got to get suspension setup that matches the wheels and tires. And I don't want to go too big. Like, it's weird. I've always been the type that if to get the biggest lift kit I can possibly get, but with this, I want to get the smallest lift kit I can possibly get, and still run the 22 by 14 and 33s without really having any issues. I was looking at the 4.5 inch BDS, but I think the safest route would be going with a 6 inch lift kit and then maybe turning it down to about 5. That will give me enough clearance. The 6 inch lift, there's so many options. I want to go with either Super Lift, Skyjacker, or Zone. And I'm leaning towards Skyjacker and Super Lift because you don't see those, you know, lift kits on really any trucks nowadays. It's really on a lot of the older vehicles. And you know, you guys know how I got started with McGaughy's. I kind of wanted to be just a little bit different. I wanted to try a brand that was kind of the underdog, that wasn't, you know, really well known at the time. I was probably one of the few people with the classic body that had the McGaughy's lift kit. And with that being said, I want to try something a little bit different. Of course, my go-to would have been Zone, but right now I'm really debating between Super Lift and Skyjacker. So leave a comment below on what you guys think I should go with. If I end up going with Zone, I will be putting the Bilstein reservoir shocks. I've been debating between Bilstein and Fox reservoir. The reason why I'm going with Bilstein is it's cheaper, and a lot of people have told me that it rides softer. That is the plan for the LOI. We are looking for a 6 inch lift kit right now. As soon as we come to an agreement on which lift kit I want to, you know, ultimately go with, we're gonna lift this bad boy up. The wheels and tires are gonna go, and the truck is just gonna look so good, and it's gonna sound awesome with Ryan's Diesel Services 64mm turbo. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button because we got plenty of modifications coming for the LOI. Also, we're going to be doing another mod on the Denali on the next upload. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.